Good day. In this video, I'll be reviewing and analyzing the movie Drishyam 2. And I'll be exploring the different features of the movie. So, is this movie good or bad? So, in the beginning, I'll be talking about the good aspects of Drishyam 2. So, I watched Drishyam 2 on Amazon Prime yesterday, and in a way, it caught my attention. It caught my attention, and it was able to make me sit throughout the movie with a kind of curiosity until the end. So that's actually something which makes a movie good. A good movie actually catches your attention and grabs you and makes you sit toward the end. But is Drishyam 2 a very good movie? We can't say that. So let's see why. So, what makes a crime thriller? A crime thriller should have a lot of violence. Is it necessary? Let's see. A crime thriller should be fast paced. A crime thriller should use a lot of strange camera angles and strange camera movements. A crime thriller should have a lot of blood and action. So Drishyam 2 is a crime thriller which does not use any of these. It does not use any of these, but still holds your attention, and it remains a crime thriller without using any of these. It doesn't have violence, but the violence is in the story. So that's what makes Drishyam 2 different from other crime thrillers. And when you come to Drishyam 2, about the technical aspects of Drishyam 2, there are a lot of flaws. So in this video, I'll be talking about the good aspects first. So I'm not going to the flaws first. So let's go to the good aspects of the movie. The good aspect, aspect of the movie is the story and the writing of the movie. So the movie is very written very well. It has a good exposition, a building up of the story, and it's able to connect all the dots and even try to justify Drishyam 1. It gives a kind of closure to the movie. So all the conflicts are resolved in the end. Even the conflicts of the opposition, the antagonist, who actually had a bad time in the previous movie. Even they have a kind of resolution in their life. They get something what they wanted, what they hope for, even though they didn't get everything. So there's going to be a lot of spoilers in this review, which if you have not watched the movie, you go watch it and then come to this review and analysis. And in Drishyam 2, you have this father's wish that he wants the body of the son. He wants he has met an astrologer, and the astrologer says that the son is actually a spirit who has the son's soul has not got enough relief, etc. And the father wants at least some remains of the son so he can perform a puja. And actually, in the end, even though Mohanlal doesn't get caught, he gives an opportunity to the father to perform that ritual. So in some way, Mohanlal feels some kind of compassion towards the father, and it gives a kind of closure to the story. And the father is also, in a way, having a kind of relief, because he knows that the greatest punishment for Mohanlal is his guilt. So as long as Mohanlal feels that guilt feeling, he's suffering for the crime he has committed. And he and his family, even his family, is suffering for the crime they have committed, because they always need to find something. They must always be vigilant, and that's the greatest punishment that Mohanlal has. And some critics even compared Drishyam to Crime and Punishment, but Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment, but it does not go into that. It does not explore that much philosophically. Philosophically, it is not that great as Crime and Punishment. Now we'll come to the negative aspects of the movie. So I told you this movie is good, but it's not very good. It has a lot of problems. So what should a good movie have? Is a script enough? Is a story enough? So there is a problem with a lot of audience. They just want a story. But cinema is more than a story. Cinema is a visual medium. It does a lot of things. Sometimes you have to show the story instead of telling it. So Drishyam in a way fails cinematically, because all the shots are very basic. All the shots they have used are nearly basic kinds of shots, and some of the shots are very melodramatic, like the shots you see in serials. And the BGM, the background music, actually tells you when you have to be sad, when you have to feel scared. So it's like the background music is too loud sometimes, like it's trying to instruct you, okay, now you have to feel sad, now you have to be curious, now you have to be scared. So actually it's not the background music but the visuals that should do that. Of course, movies are both sound and sight, but there are times that the visuals should do the actual speaking instead of the dialogues. So just because it has a story, it does not mean just because it has a good story, it does not mean the movie is good. And the movie sometimes goes to a melodramatic territory. Scene which I liked in the movie is the starting scene. Like, you have this calligraphy of Drishyam 2, and through the calligraphy, they show a man running, a criminal running through through a kind of a forest kind of area, and that actually looks nice, and it creates a kind of anticipation for the story. And he sees a small glimpse of Mohanlal. It's a kind of flashback, but even in this glimpse, you find a flaw. Mohanlal's face is not similar to the face you saw in 2013. So there is a problem in his makeup. So you can justify it. You can justify the other scenes by saying that, okay, 6 years have passed and his face has changed, but there's a real big flaw in his makeup in this movie, and makeup of other characters are also not up to the mark. And the another positive element could be Murli Gopi's acting, but that does not save the movie, because the movie uses a lot of plot points which have already been used in so many movies, like the undercover cop, the secret police, like people turning out to really be policemen, kind of that kind of twist. That kind of twist has been overused in so many movies, and the final twist in the movie is actually similar to the twist in the movie of part one, and it's not convincing. Also, how like, in a way, it's not unreal. It's very unrealistic. Like, how can a person steal evidence from the evidence room? And it's so far-fetched. But the good thing in this movie is it maintains Mohanlal's character, like Mohanlal's passion for movies. So Mohanlal here is actually planning to make a movie, and you learn that it's actually part of the plan. He has all these 6 years he had planned uh, to escape from this situation, this bad situation. What if the policemen find the body? What if something like that happens? So he writes a novel and gets a copyright for it under some other man's name in order to create an alibi for himself. We have seen such things in Basic Instinct, and he makes use of it. And there's another aspect in this movie which brings out the dark side of Mohanlal. Like, he uses everyone. He uses the producer. He uses the grave digger. He uses everyone for his own selfish needs. But so there's a limit for that. How much you should sacrifice for your family. There's a point where you feel that he does not care about anyone. He cares only about his family. So it's, in a way, a kind of selfishness. Another flaw of this movie is its product placement, and you find this Maiji everywhere, and it's in a way it's irritating. So you can do product placements in movies, but if it is overdone, you just notice it. You notice that they are trying to sell a product to you through the movie, and in that way it becomes very irritating sometimes. And another flaw in this movie is if you don't know Malayalam, because the subtitles of this movie are very bad. Like, because I knew Malayalam, I could understand more things in this movie, but I observed the subtitles at the same time, and the subtitles actually could not represent the dialogues they were saying. So in that way, when a person from outside watches this movie, they cannot clearly get what is going on. They can get what is going on, but they cannot get it to the fullest. So according to me, this movie is a movie with a good writing, but a bad directing. It's a watchable movie, but it's not a extraordinary movie. So thank you for watching.